The Republican Party needs to get its shit together. ASAP. I'm really glad we spent the past couple of weeks, as Sean Davis of The Federalist put it, policing some young person's group chat, what a podcast host said, and what the head of a think tank over at Heritage had to say. I'm really glad that the Republicans devoted so much time to that. That was a great move. Terrific move. Way to stick together, to really shine a light on what matters. The Republicans like to lose. They enjoy losing. They enjoy when they are embattled and in a losing position and complaining. They love it. They do it really well. Less good at winning, especially when Donald Trump is not there to get them over the line. The Republican Party is not strong. Donald Trump is strong. Republicans don't know how to win. They don't know who to run. They don't know what to do when daddy's not there to fly them across the finish line. And that's just been so obvious. Meanwhile, Trump is all over the Middle East while people's groceries bills are still high. They're still dealing with inflation. They're suffering. Like, that's it. OK, we're focus on domestic policy and on making people's lives better. That's really all I have to say. Those are my top line thoughts. There's a lot to get into on why this happened and so on, but that's my top line takeaway.
Welcome to the J.J. Carrell Show. In less than 2 minutes, Megyn Kelly brought up, 10 good talking points just to start. First, I want to say the Republican Party is the party of losers. That is true. I know it's hard to hear. But try to convince me otherwise. Try to convince me that they're the party of movement, of action. We're in month 11, and nothing's been codified. No Doge cut's been codified. No one's been arrested. None of Trump's executive orders have been codified into law. Nothing. Nothing. And now Donald Trump saying, I want the filibuster ended. Because, and his point is absolutely spot on, the moment the Democrats get in power again, they will abuse the filibuster and they will drive home every single thing. So why don't we beat them to the punch and begin to codify? Is the filibuster in the Constitution? Like, will we be breaking the Constitution and law? No. These are procedural crap that the senators in the past have come up with. We are a part, let me rephrase that, because I'm not a Republican. I am not a Republican. And I'm not a conservative either, because I have no idea what the term Republican is, and I have no idea what the word conservative means. They've bastardized it all. In a moment, I'll tell you exactly what I am. Megyn Kelly makes one great point after another, but one that stuck out when I listened to it. When daddy is not home, the tiny little baby kids don't know what to do. And she's right. If we took Donald Trump and removed him from the Republican Party, who would we have run for president? J.D. Vance? Marco Rubio? Thune? Who would we have run in place of Donald Trump? So right now, Donald Trump, and he's not even the Republican Party. If we really started to have a real dig deep conversation, we would come to the realization that no, Donald Trump really isn't a Republican. He really isn't. He had to run as a Republican, but he is not a Republican. We voted to put him in office. We did not vote to put Donald Trump in office because he's a Republican. Many of us, including myself, voted for Trump as a Republican in spite of the fact that I had to vote for an R. If you took Donald Trump out of the mix right now, nothing, absolutely nothing that we have done would be happening right now. There would be no more no deportations. There'd be no the border wouldn't be shut down. I lived it, guys. I lived it. I lived the Republicans with the border security. It's all a joke. It's nothing but Democrats. That's it. It's just nothing but Democrats. We would still have upside down trade agreements all over the place. We are bringing in more money tariff wise right now. And what are the Republicans and Democrats doing? They're voting to stop it. We're in the Supreme Court now, getting verification from 9 cretins in black robes to tell us if we're doing this right or not. Our whole government is out of whack. Where did our founding fathers go read all of the Federalist Papers, read all their writings and dialogue and conversation they had? Never in 100 million years did they make the judicial branch above the executive or the legislative. If you had to enumerate it, they would be number 3. And yet, because our Republican Party is so gutless, so impotent, so sophomoric intellectually, that they don't even do what needs to be done. Why? You have to ask that 3-letter word as a question. Why? Constantly. Why? Are they just losers? Are they conditioned to lose? Are they conditioned to whine? We all have friends like this. We have friends that are just perpetual losers, right? And then you discard them. Or we have friends or have known people in our group that are just whine. They just whine all the time. It's always something in their life screwed up, and they like it. They get conditioned to be a whiner. And without that, they're lost. They're untethered. If you gave them $1 million cash and took care of all their bills and said, you don't have to go to work tomorrow, you're free to do it. Well, I slept in too long and my back hurts and I can't decide what to do with all my money. I mean, it would be one thing after another. The Republicans are conditioned to be losers. And I think that might be the hardest thing Donald Trump is having to deal with, because he's used to winning. And he's used to being around people that are going to just get things done. That's why you see him banging the table nonstop. End the filibuster and do it. But he won't do it. And as I've gotten older, I've come to the realization that I have no representation. If I remove Trump, no one in that party speaks for me. Who speaks for me? People that have watched this show, let's just make it about me right now. Who in the Republican Party speaks like me? Honestly, I think there should be one person that is bold and brash and just says it like it is. I would like that person. Maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene. Maybe Miss Hagman, who's from Wyoming. I like her. Who represents you? Is if you're a real deep intellectual and that sits there and really, really dives into problems and processes and wants somebody to sit there and say logically this is right or this is wrong. Who in the Republican Party is there that does that for you? Common sense. You're someone that's driven by common sense, and I don't care about ideology or religion all I want someone to do is just look at something and go, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that. Let's try it. And then when they try it, they go, well, man, we need to course correct or maybe we need to get rid of it because this just is not working. Who in the Republican Party fits that mold for you? I can show you quite a Republicans that love to go to war. I can show you endless Republicans that have dual allegiance to Israel. I can show you those people. I can show you Republicans that are crying about narco smugglers getting blown up in the water. Same guys I had to arrest and fight and do things in the middle of the night that make normal people very queasy. That's why I believe that there needs to be a third party. Just like the title of my show, it's time for a third party. Let me make my pitch to you, because I already hear it, right? I can hear the screams coming. Oh, you're going to hand everything to the Democrats, and let's work within the party, and let's try to take back the Republican Party. How's that been working for you? I'm in my 50s, so politically I've been really involved maybe 25 years. How's that worked for me? Let's say that you're equally my age. You're 25. How's that work for you? Should we go through let's go through the most powerful positions held in politics. Okay, we'll start with the presidents. Presidents that won and ran and didn't win. So in my lifetime, we had George W. Bush. Are you kidding me? That's our president, George W. Bush. And then we had to vote for Mitch McConnell. Excuse me, Mitch McConnell. We had to vote for McCain. John McCain, flip-flopper. The deciding vote to stick it to Trump and then straddle us with Affordable Care Act. That jackass. Yeah, he suffered mightily for our country, and for that I will always have a very healthy respect. But you don't get a mulligan for the rest of your life for being an asshole. I'm sorry, you don't. And a liar. A liar. Then we had Romney. Are you kidding me? Romney? Is there a softer piece? Is there a softer individual that you could have picked? Is there somebody that had that their skin was just perfectly soft from never doing a day's hard work in his life? Somebody that is so middle of the road, so milquetoast, so plain, so boring. You couldn't go in the depths of Mormonism in Utah and pick out someone less vanilla and less inspiring than that guy. Romney? Are you kidding me? And at the same time as I'm having to stomach these people, I have to have Speaker of the Houses, McCarthy? Are you kidding me? Speaker Johnson? Paul Ryan? Crybaby Boehner sitting there he's sunning in the congressional tanning bed and then crying like Tammy Faye Baker every other day. And the other days he's just 3 sheets to the wind drunk. And then in the Senate, I have to deal with today John Thune. John Thune's as inspiring as a piece of lead. Mitch McConnell has some disease where his face doesn't give any emotion, so he just looks like a blob of skin that's like a freak show. And I got to listen to him drone on. That's JJ. You need to work within the system. Really? That's who I got to work within the system with? That guy? I got to listen to Rand Paul. Rand Paul that got bent over his riding lawnmower and just got mutilated by his neighbor who's a lefty. I mean, if I got beat up by my neighbor that's a lefty, I would just not tell you. I wouldn't even put a police report. I would say nothing. Nothing. That's the difference between me and the Dr. Rand Paul. So I have Rand Paul who likes to bitch and moan and does nothing. Nothing. Who else am I supposed to hold my nose and just we're going to work within the system? Ted Cruz. He's physically grotesque, just to make that point. And then I have to listen to him misquote scripture and to find out he bases the majority, if not all of his foreign policy decisions on faulty scripture readings. I mean, you can't make this up. You just can't make this up. So now you tell me that I have to deal with these people that I have not been represented until Donald Trump came into office, who was a Democrat. So you told me that I have to hold my nose, work within the system, and then I have to vote for a former Democrat. Well, why do I have a party? Why am I a Republican Party? No one's representing me. And I raise my hand and say, well, what about a third party? Oh my, shut up. You're stupid. You can't have a third party. Well, why not? Well, because you'd split the votes and Democrats would win and the country would die. Okay. So you think that the country will die very quickly under a third party, but we both agree the country's dying right now and has been dying for decades and will eventually die out and form into something else that doesn't even resemble America. Yes, we agree with that. Yes, we do. So you prefer the long death instead of getting treatment that's going to be painful and a lot of suffering, and then we come out and we're stronger. You don't want that. No, I don't want that. So when I hear we can't have a third party, I say that you're a fool. You're an absolute fool. Do you understand the last 2 years of Joe Biden's administration? That Speaker Johnson funded Biden's program more money than Nancy Pelosi did. Do you understand that? Do you understand that when Speaker Johnson was showed the evidence that NGOs were funding everything, that they were the money laundering machine and they were the apparatus that the federal government used to bring people and children into America, he funded them beyond anything that Biden could have dreamed of? Do you know that? We have the House and the Senate right now. No one's been arrested. No codification of law, policy, executive orders, nothing. Nothing. And the people in the power to be want me to remain silent when I start talking about a third party that needs to come up. I don't believe in doing the same damn thing all the time and then wonder why the results suck. Because if you do that over time, here's what happens. You become the problem. You're not committing the crimes. You're facilitating the criminals that commit the crime. So therefore you become complicit. And I just refuse to be complicit anymore. I refuse to just shut up and get along to get along. Why? So they can steal my money? Do you think that the income tax passed just because Democrats? Or is it bipartisan? Do you think the war in Iraq and all the subsequent wars, that wasn't Democrats and Republicans? The funding of the open borders was Democrat and Republican. Democrats and Republicans decided to not release any of the Epstein evidence. Democrats and Republicans got together, colluded on January 6th, and codified or ratified Biden's presidency, all knowing that it was fraud and abuse. They did it anyway. They did it together as one. And maybe I should almost, if I want to get technical, maybe I should say we should start a second party, because these two are one. This is a uniparty. They feed off each other. One is more of a loser than the other, and they just can constantly bang off each other and make money. Quickly, tell me one thing Ted Cruz has completed as a senator. Quickly, tell me one thing besides several judges that McConnell's done. Quickly, tell me anything John Thune has done besides stand there like a statue and bore us to death. Show me one thing Speaker Johnson's done. Go ahead. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Well, he pushed through a CR under Joe Biden. Yeah. Funding Joe Biden's government for everything he wanted. What's the dude that always rolls his sleeves up on Sean Hannity's show? I always forget this guy's name. He's a wrestler from Ohio. I always forget his name. But name one thing he's done. I call him the new Trey Gowdy. Trey Gowdy was like a weird teenage girl. He changed his hair color and changed his hairstyle like every other day. And it was bizarro. Like, just bizarre. Like, how many men do you know that change? Like, I've had the same haircut for probably 1 or 2 different haircuts in the last 30 years. This guy was changing his hairstyle every other day. Who does that? Honestly, I can see growing out a little bit, but I mean, the guy has a pompadour, then he's got a high and tight, then he's got some kind of triangle thing going on, and all the while talking the biggest game. And I was a sucker for it, to be honest with you. And until I realized none of these guys do anything. They never do anything. They talk. They do nothing. Absolutely nothing. At least put a bill up. And if the bill fails, you can say, hey, and put another one up. Hey, I've done like 20 bills. These idiots will not vote for it. Okay. I can respect that. What's my party called? For a long time, I'm like, we need America First Party, America First. But just like Republicans, the name Republican, and just like the name conservative, America First has no real meaning. It's already being watered down because they're going around and going, well, we have to fund Israel because, see, that's America First because it's America First interest. We're just using them as a proxy. America First in Ukraine because that keeps Russia from being on our border in New Jersey. What? Yeah, that's America First. So there's a new term bantering around, and I love it, and I want to grab it. I'm not going to say it's mine. I'm saying I'm grabbing it. I want to be a part of it, and that's America only. There's no wiggle room. There's no speaking out of both sides of your mouth politics. It's America only. No. Listen to me. America only. That means everyone else gets nothing. That means they don't get our attention. They don't get our time. They don't give our talent or treasure. They get nothing. We're not going to Nigeria to fight the Muslims for you. We're not doing that. We're not going to Mexico and give you money for sewage treatment plants. We're not going to Ukraine and fund your border and your biolabs. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. Anything. It's America only. You want access to America and the buying power? Well, it's like at Costco. You're going to pay a surcharge to be a part of the American only group. And if you don't want to, that's fine, because I have another 100 nations out there. They're willing to pay it because we're going to buy from them. If it benefits America. If it doesn't benefit America, I don't need your soybeans. I don't need your corn. I don't need any of your steel. We have all that. So nope. You can't sell us, and you're not. And maybe you can buy our stuff. You can all buy it, but you're not going to bring in anything unless we need it. But that'll be a short stop, because we're going to become 100% self-sufficient in America, because it's always going to be American only. Let me just throw this out here to you. If I took control of the government, let's say God just put me in charge and says, you're king. The very first thing that I would do is I would say, we're on American only binge for 30 days. If I hear you talking about a foreign country, you are going to be fired, terminated. Everything we do, even in our discussions, is about America only. No money leaves our nation for 30 days. None. Zero. Everything is in-house. We're not doing any wars. We're not funding anybody. We're not doing anything. Do you know how great America would be in 30 days? 30 simple days. Could you imagine if we did that for 90 days? Could you imagine if we did that for 10 years? Where we didn't send a nickel out of this country and we just poured it into America. Are you telling me that wouldn't be significant? Are you honestly going to have an argument with me saying that that would not benefit America? So then why are we not doing it? Because you can't make money that way. You can make money when you send trillions of dollars overseas. Who's watching it? Who's tracing it? Who's going into the small villages in Africa and going, hey, you have fresh drinking water? Ukraine, did you guys get our top secret missile launchers that nobody knows about? Who's asking that question? Nobody. That's how the politicians get wealthy. Who's watching the NGOs that are getting billions upon billions of dollars? International NGOs owned by Soros, and we're funding them. Do you see that this is all about corruption? That's it. I believe we're time for a third party. A straight up third party. I don't care how clunky it is. I don't care how it's going to, they're just going to have, and I want America only statements in the party platform. That's it. That's all it is. And it'll be for the people. That's it. American only. America only. But right now we're stuck with one party that is morally bankrupt, spiritually empty, and evil. That's the truth. Then the other party, the Republican Party, is just a bunch of beta white males. That's the truth. A bunch of really, really sorry, good for nothing, weak, pathetic white men. That's what I thought when I sat in front of Congress. Literally, to my right, their left, was repugnant Democrats. Like intellectually repugnant, physically, like beauty-wise, repugnant, almost like circus-esque, if you will. Big red eyeglasses, leopard skin print outfits. I mean, it's just visually, it was just like, whoa, what am I looking at? Then I look over at my doughy white side. Guys that are stuttering, asking questions that make no sense, all colluding together. Is all kabuki theater. You go testify in front of Congress, it's all kabuki theater. It's all, I realized, I knew when I testified in front of Congress that congressmen are some of the dumbest people that are in our public. They're the dumbest people amongst us. And then I held out hope that I could be wrong, but immediately when I started talking to them or they started questioning me, I instantly knew these are some of the dumbest people in our society. That's a sad statement, but it's true. A lot's happened in a week. A lot of people are freaking out about Mandani and the destruction of Virginia with that weird woman and a Muslim lieutenant governor, and then the guy that wants to kill all the Republicans, attorney general. But we knew that was going to happen. Those are blue states, blue cities, blue states, blue everything. So it's not a shock, but it should tell you everything you need to know about the Republican Party. If the Republican Party focused on America, make America great again, MAGA, we would have none of these problems. But we're not. as Megyn Kelly said, Donald Trump's in the Middle East. Can we get out of the Middle East for a little bit there, Mr. Trump? I don't care what happens to Ukraine and Russia. I don't care if they both blow them off each other off the face of the map. Don't care. It has no bearing on me. How about we just get back to America, Mr. President, and let's focus on Americans? That's what you were voted for, sir. I didn't vote for you for Ukraine and Russia and Nigeria and Israel and Mexico. I didn't vote for any of that crap. I voted solely for you to be an American president about American issues, period. And as much as I am one of your biggest supporters and I praise you for everything you've done, you sometimes make me feel as if you're going off the rails a little bit. You need to come back and realize no one else matters. Not your Nobel Peace Prizes. None of that crap matters to me. No, what matters to me is that my interest rate's still at 6.5% for my mortgage. All of my money's devaluing. I go to the grocery store and it's $100, $150 no matter what I get. It just doesn't even matter. It's like 2 plastic bags, half-empty plastic bags of crap, $150. Go buy clothes, $500. I didn't even buy. I bought like a pair of pants for my son, 2 pairs of pants, 2 shirts, some underwear, and some socks. $500. What? Yeah. Sorry. Move along. I didn't vote for this. This is not what I wanted. I wanted a lot of things you've done, Mr. Trump, but at the same time, sir, there's a lot of things that I don't give 2 craps about. And everything I don't give 2 craps about are outside my borders of the United States of America, period. The way you can support me as I go through this, and I'm on the platform on Survival Dispatch News, and I appreciate this from Chris Heaven allowing me to be on his platform. Just go, if you could do me a favor, and I'm not selling you something bad, I'm selling you me. I believe nothing's for free. I want you to go to my website. Just check it out. See what I have there. I think you'll love it. It's a very professional. One thing I'm proud of, I didn't build it. I have no idea how to do any of that stuff. I had a local company here in Kansas who I love. Build and maintain my website. Love them. Love them. Go to jjcarrell.com. Just spell my name with no periods. jjcarrell.com. I post things. I post articles and videos and my own episodes every single day on my website. Or you can go to Substack, jjcarrell.substack.com, jjcarrell.substack.com. Have all of my writings, my podcast on there, everything. The best way to support me is become a paid subscriber. Or if you don't want to or don't have the money, I understand. Then just go there. I have also free writings and free videos and everything of that nature. Just go to my website or go to jjcarrell.substack.com. Let me drive home this point of that everything is kabuki theater and we need a third party for the people. And I'm going to show you a clip from November 2024, 1 year ago. And this was John Thune, the pencil. The pencil. I don't know what part of the pencil John Thune is. I don't know if he's just like a piece of lead in it, or he's the dead wood, or he's just as movable as an eraser. John Thune John Thune's just John Thune. Watch him try to not answer a question from Laura Loomer. That's going to be number 2. Yep.
Another thing that Senator Thune did is he entertained the weaponization of government against Donald Trump. He entertained the indictments against President Trump. And as you know, as a senator from the state of Florida, President Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago was raided. And instead of fighting against the corrupt Biden DOJ and the weaponization of government through these witch hunt indictments against President Trump, your Senate colleague, Senator Thune, who wants to be the next GOP leader, he actually entertained these indictments and called them very serious allegations. So let's go ahead and play this clip, and I want to get your reaction to what he said. Clip number 43.
Well, they're very serious allegations, and the burden of proof for the Justice Department will be high. I think there are a lot of people across the country who have skepticism about the standards of justice and how they're applied, and wanting to make sure that they're applied equally.
It says that he may have obstructed this investigation, made false statements to prosecutors.
Your reaction to what Senator Thune said about how we need to let the Justice Department run its course and let it play out?
Well, first off, I'm the first one that went up to defend Trump. I sat through the trial with him up in New York. This is you know, the Clinton administration did that. It did it against me and one of my companies. The Obama administration did it. The Biden administration is doing. They pick who they want to go after. In this case, they've gone after Trump with this frivolous lawsuit. And what they want to do is clearly they've indicted him, they've convicted him, they've shut him, they've done everything they can. What we got to do is whether we defund the DOJ, whatever we have to do, we got to stop this.
So you're listening to Laura Loomer show a clip of John Thune saying Thune has the best way of saying nothing. But instead of being a true patriot and saying, of course, this is all BS, but then you listen to Rick Scott. Rick Scott, hey, sir, I'm going to ask you a question about the sky's blue. And then he starts talking about the asphalt. Well, it's just so hot sometimes. He didn't answer any question. They're all together. They're all in on this. I have another clip. I'm going to show you clip number 3. This is Thune on Trump. Listen to this guy talk about Donald Trump. And he just leaves them hanging. Play this, please.
The tweet that you put out last weekend, it was perceived that you flip-flopped on Donald Trump, and this is the tweet right here. You asked Trump to withdraw, but yet you say you'll still vote for him. Now, you stayed quiet on this issue for quite some time. Was this a little too late?
This tweet? Mm-hmm. Well, what I saw on Friday when the revelations came out, when I saw the video, I was very disturbed by it. And I thought it was going to be very difficult for Donald Trump to defeat Hillary Clinton. And I thought the best solution for us to defeat Hillary Clinton to win the election would be for Donald Trump to step aside and allow Mike Pence to become our nominee. I still believe that's the best solution to this issue. But that being said, we're going to be faced with a choice between two very imperfect candidates. Now, Jay mentioned all the flaws of Donald Trump, but let's think about the alternative. Hillary Clinton has lied repeatedly.
No, John Thune, you're a flip-flopper and you're a never-Trumper. It's amazing how when you begin to realize all of the never-Trumpers are in positions of authority and power, nothing gets done. Nothing is getting done because we have never-Trumpers like Thune in there. I want to play this clip number 4. And this is Trump frustrated about not having the filibuster removed and understanding that we're a party of losers. Watch this.
It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. It's the only way you can do it. And if you don't terminate the filibuster, you'll be in bad shape. We won't pass any legislation. There'll be no legislation passed for 3.25. We have 3.25 years, so that's a long time. But when they can't do an extension, and John, I think they've done an extension every single time they've ever been asked forever. This is the first time they haven't done an extension. Extensions are supposed to be easy, but if they won't do an extension, they won't do any bill, even a simple bill. And we should do our own bills. We should get out. We should do our own bills. We should open up. We should start tonight with the country's open. Congratulations. Then we should pass voter ID. We should pass no mail-in voting. We should pass all the things that we want to pass, make our elections secure and safe, because California is a disaster. Many of the states are disasters. But can you imagine when they vote almost unanimously against voter ID? All we want is voter ID. You go to a grocery store, you have to give ID. You go to a gas station, you give ID. But for voting, they want no voter ID. That's only for one reason, because they cheat. We would pass that in 15 minutes. If you don't get it, you'll never pass that. You'll never talk about mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots make it automatically corrupt. If you have mail-in ballots, automatically it's correct. Even Jimmy Carter, they had the Carter Commission after he got out of office, and he had a group of very distinguished people, Democrats and Republicans, and they passed, they recommended things take place. It was a long time ago. And they said about mail-in ballots, if there is mail-in ballots, there will definitely be corruption because, they pass through too many hands. I mean, you go in to vote and they want your card. Even me, I went into Palm Beach. You go in to vote, they want your card. You're this, you're that. They say, I'm sorry to do this, sir, but I have to look at your identification. I said, that's all right. I love that. But you're really not going to get away with much. It was very, very professional, very good, and the way it's supposed to be. But these people don't want that because they want to cheat, and they get away with it. And the Republicans let them get away with it, and we won't do that if we have to filibuster. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. If I thought that they weren't going to pass the filibuster, I wouldn't even bring it up. They're going to pass it within the first hour. And if they take power, and it's more likely that they take power if we don't do it, because we're not going to be passing any legislation, not going to approve anything. We're going to go 3.25 years. There won't be one bill that we're going to pass. Because the easiest thing to pass is exactly right now what they won't pass. And they'll do that, and they'll wreak havoc. But let's assume they get it. They're doing it anyway, so it wouldn't matter. They're doing it anyway.
That's Donald Trump just saying, I want mail-in ballots stopped. I want same-day voting. I want I want it all done. I want it all done. And you heard him say John. He's talking about John Thune. After this meeting, John Thune told a reporter, filibuster, that's going to stay. It's not going to happen. It's a dead issue. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Mike Rounds of South Dakota, same piece of worthless crap as John Thune from South Dakota. They're lockstep. We're not going to get rid of the filibuster. You have I think a very good senator from Alabama, the former coach of Auburn. Man, he's just the slip in my mind. Am I getting old? Tommy Tuberville, excuse me. He's already come out today and said, I'm for the filibuster. Get rid of it. I'm for getting rid of the filibuster, and let's move forward. Because we're a party of losers. They are a party of losers. I want to bring in a guest that I have every Thursday. It's Kim Yater from Take Your Power Back show. So I want to bring Kim in. Kim, I was going to ask you a right as you come on question. Do you think that we need a third party?
Oh,
or do you think I'm crazy?
Good question. Hey, JJ, I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. We know Elon Musk has been talking about this, the America Party, right? So now there's two things that can happen. One, you have a third party that comes in and they can tilt the vote a certain way. They can really make an impact either way, right? So the question is, for those of us that are conservative, for those of us that love the truth, for those of us that expose the truth, JJ Carrell, if we were to have a third party, would it be strong enough to tilt the vote towards the conservative Republican side? Would it actually take over the vote where it actually would make a tremendous difference and it would turn everything topsy-turvy right and left? Here's what I think. I 100% think we need a third party right now because both parties unfortunately are corrupt and they have become a uniparty. Now, are there good people on the right side? 100% yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are there some people that are good people on the other side? There are, but they are fighting tooth and nail and they're losing because the darkness has taken them over. So would I be part of a third party? I might consider the possibility of doing this. I actually personally like the idea.
I would consider him a friend now. I had a friend that sent me this is what I want to run on if I ran as a third party president. And it was like 40 pages long, Kim. And he broke it down by each category. And I'm reading it. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of it. And let me just give you one idea where this guy's so outside the mainstream. He said, one of the things that I want to do if I became president is immediately remove everyone that has dual allegiance and dual citizenship out of powers of authority. And then he said something I'd never even thought about. I'm going to pass a law with all my America first, he calls it America only, my America only senators and congressmen, that you cannot run for government until you are you're either born here, like born as an American citizen, or you're the third generation immigrant. And he said, I was like, and he just didn't say it. He writes it down, like he articulates why. He goes, because by the third generation, you are fully Americanized and you have no allegiance. You have allegiance to America. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. It was brilliant. So I think my point is this, Kim, having a third party brings out ideas and common sense ideas that we didn't even think about.
Yes,
Right?
100%. Yes. And here's the thing. Whenever you are joining a party, you're stepping into a box. There's a structure. There are boundaries. You can't go this far. You can't go this far. You can't go here. You can't go there. The third party allows you the freedom to create. You're not limited and controlled. I mean, I'm in California. We already have our party pick, our GOP party pick, and it's not giving the opportunity for all of those that actually have something to really bring to the table. It's not giving them their voice. That's why we're doing the Take Your Power Back California Governor Showdown, where I've got 13 candidates on the stage on Saturday. Every single conservative candidate except one, and he's not showing up. I think his feelings got hurt with the interview he did. That's okay. It was exposure. It's all good. But here's the deal. We got to allow, it's time to create. You know, the Bible says you cannot pour old wine into new wine skins. Okay. How the heck are we going to create something newly that works, where the power is given back to the people, if we're pouring the wine into the old wineskins? It's time to create newly.
I agree with that. And I think Donald Trump's completely adverse to a third party. However, the irony is, Kim, that he is the third party. He's not a Republican. Nobody looks at Donald Trump and says, he's a Republican. No, we look at him and say, he's MAGA, right? He's America first.
Right, right.
That's the irony, is that I think the third party mindset has already been created. I don't think that we're creating it out of whole cloth. I think it's already exists. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I really do. You know, it's so funny because I think of, you know, the anomaly of Donald Trump, right? So he 100% is a party himself. I mean, is it really the Republican Party? The Republican Party is supporting him, but half of that Republican Party is corrupt and behind the scenes trying to tear him down. So, you know, he kind of is setting the stage. So let's see what's going to happen. I mean, I was at the California GOP and it was dead. It was
really
dead. Yes, it was dead. It's almost like the communication, the functioning. It's not alive. It's not thriving. It's like bureaucracy. It's not thriving anymore. It's a real missing.
They feel like it's dead, right? In California, they feel.
Yeah.
Well, tell us. So you have 13 or 12 or 13 candidates
13,
coming on Saturday.
That's right.
Tell if Nick and my producer pull that flyer up, can you just tell my audience where it's at, how they can get tickets, how can they watch it if they live in Kansas like me? They can watch it online.
Oh, so good, so good. So this is the Take Our California Back movement. It's the Take Your Power Back California Governor Showdown. 13 conservative candidates that share our values. I mean, General Flynn, I sat with him this week. What a message he has for the people of California and the leaders of California. We've got our moderators, Lara Logan, independent journalist, Dr. Douglas G. Frank, world-renowned physicist, election integrity expert in 46 states, and then, of course, OAN's Dan Ball, plus the entertainment of Tom Kaz, Tammy Kelly. It is going to be an extraordinary event where we get to peel back the layers we're going to be in the fire in this event. I mean, everything is timed and moving. You get to see who those candidates really are. And I'll tell you what, behind the scenes, we are strategizing together. You can't make this stuff up. When you make a decision to walk in truth, God will move what needs to be moved to bring the people together to take this state back and take this nation back. And I'm telling you, what's happening behind the scenes is extraordinary. So take ourcaliforniaback.com. Now, if you are not in the state of California and you're not going to be butts in seat with us at this event, you can go to rumble.com/take your power back show/live. You're going to be able to watch this at 7 p.m. Pacific live with your California governor candidates committed to taking it's ours, it's we the people, our California back.
I pray that you have a great candidate come out of there and that can win the election. But it's because I visited California a couple weeks ago. I'm pumping gas in my rental car at $5.50 a gallon. Traffic's everywhere, trash, graffiti, home prices, rents are skyrocketing. It is insane, Kim.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yes.
And there's homelessness. It just feels dirty. And that's not the California that I left. The California when I got there was spectacular. The 90s was you could be anything you wanted, but it was Republican run. And in 30 years, it's super majority Democrat, and we have to take it back. So I applaud you. I applaud you so much for putting something like this together. And I know that you have got to be exhausted, fearful, scared. But I applaud you for doing it. What courage it took to just put that together. So I know it's going to be successful because I know that you're a whirlwind of positivity and creativity. So you will do it. Finally, before I let you go, you and I share a sponsor, Patriots Made.
We do.
We're giving. You told me when you said, "Hey, do you want to be partner in this? You want to have them as a sponsor?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Give me your pitch." And you pitched me, "Well, why are you giving all your money to the companies that hate you?" And I was like,
"Oh yeah,
that's a dang good pitch. That's the perfect pitch. You're right. Why am I giving these people my money?" And you say, "Well, there's an alternative. It's Patriots Made." And I do. I have everything in my house: cleaning supplies, beef jerky to lotion to my power bars in the morning. That and my power pack vitamins. So I don't go to box stores. So give my audience a quick elevator pitch of, hey, this is why you need to use this sponsor that sponsors my show and yours.
Yes, I'll tell you what, American made is the way to go. We've got to support farmers, ranchers, American made companies. And I'll tell you what, this big box manufacturer has been around for 40 years, the best of science and nature. If we're going to bankrupt BlackRock and Vanguard, if we're going to begin to take our power back from the big box retailers, the Procter & Gamble, Colgate and Palmolive, who literally all of these big box manufacturers have the heavy metals in their products, the parabens, alcohol sulfates. What happens when those heavy metals get overloaded in the system? You become sick. It leads to dis-ease. And where do diseased people go? Into the pharmaceutical company. It is the cycle to hell. We've got to take our power back. This big box manufacturer, this is not the big box manufacturer. It's an American manufacturer that makes over 400 products, just better, safer. I've been here 20 years. Game changer, daughters. Allergies gone, eczema gone for me in a week and a half, and no back surgery after buying time for disc replacement surgery. We've been able to help hundreds of thousands. They're in 20 countries and in 2 million homes in the USA. Guys, go to patriotsmade.com/JJ. JJ and I, our teams are extraordinary. They will tailor it according to your wellness needs. patriotsmade.com/JJ. Let's take our power back.
Kim Yater, you're awesome. Good luck this Saturday. I'll be praying for you, as I know you're going to be like fire running around crazy. But just hang in there and know it's going to work because you are a power structure. Thank you very much, Kim.
In Jesus' name is what I gotta say. In Jesus' name, we're taking California back. Love you, JJ.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Kim Yater, takeyourpowerbackshow.com. Takeyourpowerbackshow.com. Kim Yater, awesome. Awesome. Always upbeat. From the moment I met her, upbeat. Positive, always positive. She's got God. That's the only thing I could narrow it down, is that she just has this insane, credible belief in God, and it's contagious. And she believes that she's going to be taken care of. Unbelievable. Kim Yater, take your power back show. Fast show. I got 5 minutes. I'm looking at my clock in the upper left-hand side. 5 minutes. There's something I want to talk. I don't have the time. What am I going to use? You know what? Let's talk about this. Let's skip. If you're okay, I'll tee it up, Nick. If we can go to number 6, let's go to number 6. And I think this is important because this ties into having a third party, taking your power back, and that is something that I've come to understand and believe thoroughly. If you believe in something, don't ever, ever, ever apologize. And I'm going to give you Exhibit A. This gentleman on the screen, Kevin Roberts, I think his title is President of the Heritage Foundation, backed Tucker Carlson and said, hey, I'm not going to disavow Tucker Carlson because he had Nick Fuentes on his show. And they went after him. And now this weak man has given one apology. Today came out in 124 hours and gave a second apology. And I'm waiting for the third to come out. He's going to apologize for the rest of his life because they own him now. What he should have learned from Donald Trump is to double down and then tell you to go pound sand and stick it where the sun doesn't shine. But I want you to listen. If you can play this for 56 seconds, and that's all you're probably going to be able to stomach. But I want you to look at what a beta male looks like. Go ahead and play this, Nick.
Speak plainly, both as president of the Heritage Foundation and also as an American who understands the urgency of this moment. Leadership requires owning the moments where we fall short, then using them to reset, refocus, and recommit. I talked about this today, as you may have seen, during our Heritage All-Staff Town Hall. I'm so grateful for my amazing colleagues. My use of the phrase venomous coalition was a terrible choice of words. It caused justified concern, especially among friends and allies who know how seriously Heritage has fought and continues to fight against the rise of anti-Semitism. Everyone has the responsibility to speak up against the scourge of anti-Semitism, no matter the message.
You can stop. I can't take this guy. This guy's so pathetic. Venomous coalition. If you would have said that to me prior to listening to this dumb jackass, if you would have said to me, hey, what do you think of venomous coalition? I think, well, that's a kind of a strange combination of words, but I think it's effective. If you would have told me, well, JJ, that's anti-Semitic. What are you talking about? I would have never connected venomous coalition to Jews. How what are you talking about? And this guy, instead of saying that, hey, I got a bunch of jerks telling me I got to apologize. I'm not apologizing. Venomous coalition, if they think that is solely to Jews, well, they got a problem that they have to deal with themselves. But no, this guy apologizes. And now he apologizes later again in the afternoon. And tomorrow he'll apologize again because he's being destroyed. The Heritage Foundation's over. Nobody's going to go there. No young person's going to go there. They're dead. They're an old dying dinosaur because they're led by gutless, impotent white men. He mentioned, he alluded to Nick Fuentes. So let's play Nick Fuentes because he had a great take on this. And I don't care if you think he's anti-Semitic. I don't care what you think of this guy. He says a lot of things that I absolutely agree with. So go pound sand. Watch this for a minute 13, please, Nick.
This bald loser gets up and says, I need to be better. I should have chose my words more carefully. Choose your words more carefully. Motherfucker, we're at war right now. Do you understand the stakes here? We have 50 million foreign born in this country, 50 million illegals, 50 million more foreign born than illegal. We're at war. Look at what's happening. Look what happened to Irina Zarutska. She got stabbed in the neck with a knife. Look what happened to Austin Metcalf. Got stabbed in the neck with a knife. Look what's happening in all of our major cities in public transit. Look what's happening with the carjackings. Look what happened to Charlie Kirk in that Catholic church in Minnesota. And you're getting up there and apologizing about your word choice, anti-Semitic canards? You are weak. You are a coward. You caved. You caved to this small psycho minority that, in their own words, puts a foreign country ahead of ours.
That's
They're not
good,
even
Nick.
Christian.
I love it. Amen, Fuentes. Amen. And if you don't like me because you think he's an anti-Semite or what, go pound sand. Go pound sand. Never, ever, ever apologize for what you believe. And do what I have on my screen when I leave. No filters, no fear. Why don't we start being bold and speaking boldly without fear? That would be something we should all try and strive for every single day.